Call this meeting to order of the Pelletier Board of Commissioners, 6:30, Monday, May 1st. Roll call.
Walter Vincent.
Here.
Dan Taylor.
Here.
Dale Sowers.
Here.
Sonny Mason.
Here.
David Bragg.
Yes, ma'am.
Tim Quinn.
Here. All right, let's all stand for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight. We thank you for the day that you have given us. We thank you for each and every one that is present, and we ask that you be with all of us. Be with each one as decisions are made. May these decisions be beneficial for this town and pleasing unto you. All this we ask in your precious and loving name. Amen.
Okay, approval of the agenda. Everybody's got the agenda in front of them. If there's no changes, do I hear a motion to approve the agenda as written?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Approval of the minutes of the April 3rd, 2023 meeting. Everybody has the minutes. If there's no changes to those minutes, do I hear a motion to approve them as written?
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Okay. Department report, code enforcement officer.
Perfect timing.
Walked in the door.
Lieutenant Chris Jensen.
Tactical timing I have.
You're good like that.
No. Sir?
Sir. Sir. You, sir? Sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it. Yes, sir.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you tonight? I'll just get right into it. So, if you'll notice, my report's been condensed because I kept going with additions to what I have been doing, Since we've adopted new rules on how I'm going to be dealing with these folks, I didn't want to have 20 members on my list. I want to start smaller than that. So I picked some of the highlights. If I'm off on that, you can go ahead and hit me up and I can add to it or delete this as I go. But these are the people that have problems with in the past, and I think I should probably start on them first. The familiar address is like 1105 Highway 58, which is right down the road. The big building that used to be, I think, your town hall.
Yeah.
Yes. It's getting overgrown by nature, and God is taking it back into the earth, I think, at this point, because it's getting bad. Let's see, 119 Petterford Road is still not been resolved. That's a two-story home there with the camper on Petterford Road. There's actually like 7 or 8 on Petterford Road. I'm just gonna start on that one. Moving along. Deaton Drive, which is also in the same neighborhood. White House Forest Road, that trailer there is getting taken back by God. Want to deal with that in some way, some fashion. So, with all that said, I'm going to skip the cop thing for a second. If you would, gentlemen, could you get to the back pages of my little presentation here. I've come up with a 30-day notice. If you see that, guys.
Notice of violation.
That's a notice of violation. Prior to that, this 30-day notice. Sorry about all the paperwork, fellas.
Yes.
So this is what I plan to give out first to the folks. It's kind of I'm a serious person, but this is still kind of friendly. Get your stuff cleaned up within the 30 days. It's your 30-day notice. Okay, so now they have it in writing. I'll present that to them in person. If I can't find them in person, I'll find a place to mail it to, get it certified mail as well, so I'll have a receipt of that. Okay. Then thereafter, if they do not comply, we'll get to the notice of ordinance violation. I put down 3 prescribed methods of compliance encouragement. We got this is what I read from the statute, so if I'm wrong, please correct me and I'll change this as you decide. But North Carolina state citation, which was on there, it's a misdemeanor under 14.4, I believe is the section. The civil penalty at $50 per day, or a civil abatement action if there's obviously nobody around to actually hand the penalty to. So a civil abatement action. So I will check one of those boxes with all the things I filled in, and then we'll go from there. I also listed the laws that concern the citation, and I've incorporated that into it. If any of this is wrong, please, I'm just looking for a little direction here on how to proceed, but I think that's hitting the highlights. What do you think, guys?
I personally like it.
Okay.
I think we made your presence known throughout the community, but yet we hadn't put any teeth on the dog or taken him off the leash.
Right.
I think it's time to pull the trigger.
Good things.
I like it.
Yes.
And if Brett's okay with it all, then I think we should be.
And that's kind of looking for your validation on this. Good to go.
I'll give you some this week. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to look at our ordinance that we passed, make sure everything is good to go. This is the first I've seen of it, so.
This is the first I'm presenting it, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
fair. All fair. But yeah, if you could get that back to Ms. B or
Yep,
something.
I'll let her know this week.
Awesome. All right. So that's basically the direction I want to take this into. Just wanted to let you guys know. This way I have something to go after these guys with that don't want to comply with, get their stuff in compliance. Any questions of me, fellas?
No, sir.
All
Thank
right.
thank you for
Oh,
what you
wait.
do.
I didn't go over the law enforcement part. I apologize. I don't mean to make this longer than I got stupid. I gotta do the law enforcement part of it. Get it up being the cop. Okay. Last month, Palantir generated 80 calls for service from the sheriff's office and 13 calls for service in the ETJ, which is your surrounding community around the town of Palantir, for a total of 93 calls for service. And those are everything from, I think last month we had maybe 5 or 6 domestics, a couple car wrecks, a couple speeding, and we even had a singular barricaded subject hostage situation that I had to deal with. Okay. But here's the call logs. They're all in there from the Palantir area as well as the Swansboro area, which is your ETJ. Well, at least 25% of it is. Okay, now, any questions of me?
I got one.
Sir?
Pelletier Loop and West Fire Tower, Pettiford Shores, all that. I know.
That would be your ETJ.
Yeah. I've been working down at the old amphitheater for the past 3 weeks.
Okay.
And I know the speed limit's been changed on that road, which is great.
Yeah.
But they are running over me going to work, and they're running over me coming back. Can we get a little bit more presence on
I
that
can
road?
try, at the very least, I can try to get my collective self down there and start doing some paperwork on the road, and I'll pull a couple cars over.
Perfect. Just some presence, I believe, will help
What are the
tremendously.
time periods you're looking at?
7 o'clock in the morning, 6:30 to 7,
Okay.
and 4:30 in the afternoon. I had a guy pass me on the road the other day, in the curve.
I'll probably do the 4:30 in the afternoon. I got busy stuff in the morning with schools.
Thank you, sir.
So, okay, 4:30 in the afternoon. I'll be there tomorrow. Yeah, absolutely. Any other questions, guys? You go next. All right, that concludes me. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Lieutenant. Okay, fire and EMS, being it's the first day of the month, they don't have their report ready yet, so. Did you have anything you want to say to it?
Absolutely not.
All right, then we go to our finance. So right now in our general account, we have $230,000 $387. Tile bills got $31,490. I want y'all to take a look at the dues, and I would like to add some money to that out of the miscellaneous. I'm gonna bring it up a little bit, but I can go ahead and take care of this now. But I would like for you commissioners to consider us go ahead and paying East Carolina Council the dues and go ahead and get that started. We have the money that we can use to go ahead and do that. That way we would have them on board by the first of the fiscal year.
I'm making a motion, we'll go ahead and pay them.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to go ahead and pay for East Carolina Council. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Good. Someone did, everybody did.
I did, Sonny did. Everybody else did.
I ain't said back yet, I figured I'd do something.
And I'm taking the money out of the miscellaneous again.
Yeah, and move it up to dues.
Up to do.
I think it's like $300. It's a little bit less than 300, but you could call David Bone and find out exactly and let him know that we're going to go ahead and get that started. Okay. Any questions on the financial? All right, we'll move forward. Planning report.
We approved the rezoning of Ponside Mobile Home Park from B1 to MC, and we move it to you, Commissioner.
Okay. Thank you, Mel.
You're welcome.
Commissioners report. Commissioner Quinn.
The only thing I have is, Dan gave me a list of our street lights. And what I'd like to do with the board's permission is to contact EMC and see what the charge is to change over to LEDs. And if we can change over to LEDs, I'd like for us to do that. It should save us some money.
No, it costs us more.
Costs us more on the LEDs.
When we were coming out here, see, they give us a discount rate. So for us to get LEDs, they were going to charge us more at that time when we first started this. So
They were gonna charge us more monthly, or
yeah, it's per light. See, they like if you wanted the night light outside your house,
right?
I think they would charge in like $18, $19. I'm just throwing that at, this isn't the actual number.
Oh, yeah.
But for the town, since we were getting like 26 or so, we were getting them for like 16 or below.
Right.
You know, so that it was just a set rate since we were just trying to light up the streets. But I mean, you know, it's
Right now, they're charging us the same thing, whether it's LED or whatever. Right now, that's what they're doing. We just pay so much per light, period.
yeah. We just pay
But by changing the LEDs, not gonna save us any money,
no.
as far as what it's costing us per light.
No,
Yeah.
no, but I mean, the only extra that we would be charged is having them changed out, because they won't do it for free. They're gonna charge you to come out there and change them, so.
But so what happens?
It's been working fine. Leave it alone.
No, I'm not.
You haven't come and talked to me about it, period. I am the street light commissioner. You should come through me and then come forward to council.
Well, I was just asking for permission. I
You
wasn't
didn't
trying.
have- you didn't
I
have
wasn't
to-
trying to change anything.
All right, let's move on. Mr.
on.
Bragg?
I believe I'll run my mouth a little later in the meeting.
Okay. Mr. Mason?
I'm good.
Walter?
I'm good.
Okay. The mayor's report, well, one, I had the East Carolina Council, but I thought that was the best time to do it, when the we were doing the finance. Another thing I want the commissioners to consider, I would like for y'all to consider passing on to the planning board to look over our residential ordinances on sheds, as we have no regulations on them at all. We need to make sure they're tied down and everything, so anyhow, I would like for y'all to at least think about that, or someone thinks it's good, make a motion.
I'm sorry, what were you asking?
About sheds,
To have,
on our residential ordinances, we
but-
don't have anything in there to regulate them, and we need some.
but you were gonna ask the planning board to come up with something, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
I make
pass
a
it.
motion, that we do that.
I'll second.
Pass it on to the planning board, so I have a motion, and Sonny is second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? B, please make sure that's on the planning board's agenda for next. Okay, all right, next is new business. The first is the mowing bid. We need to make this straight, or, make it legal here. We did do a phone vote so that Mickey could get started. His contract is with the town for $24,000. So do I hear a motion to accept, Mickey, how do you pronounce your last name?
Patel.
Mickey Patel's bid of $24,000 to mow the streets this year?
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. All right, next is our budget for this upcoming year. So anyhow, about everything's just about the same. I did add, we do have $5,000 in there next year for the attorney's fee. And I put, another 5,000 in miscellaneous in case, we needed that. We've been very fortunate. Our last year's, the 21-22 budget, we were just shy of 29,000 under. So we did real good. So it looks tight, but we really tightened our belts. This year's probably going to be a little different with the air conditioning that went out here. That was, we got that over $8,000 hit. But anyhow, this does allow really for East Carolina Council, if we use them as a planner, we have $20,000 for it. There's another $1,000 for miscellaneous use for East Carolina Council. If we have extra charges, we can use it there. Insurance, we have $6,000. Town hall maintenance, 4. Street lights, 5,200. Pelletier Loop Road, this is new this year. That's 252 Pelletier Loop Road, which is the old church community building. Got $1,500 there to that will help take care of the electric bill and the water bill. Our ab valve, we're expected to bring in $62,000. Beer and wines, $3,000. Our billboard out here is $900. The motor vehicle tax, we should receive somewhere around $4,000, which might be a little more with more people moving in. Zoning permits, that'll probably drop a little bit with the interest rates going up. Not as many houses are gonna go up, so anyhow. Then we have our sales and use tax of 20,000. Utility franchise tax, 31,000. And then I'll move 5,000 of the unappropriate funds, they're, into our budget just in case we have some overages and all. So our working administrative budget was 127,920. Our PAL bill is 25,000 for a grand total of 152,920. And the tax rate will remain at 5.5 cents. Any questions?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
We probably need, at least this is my opinion, we need, we're giving the fire department 11 cents and they're gonna go up, right?
Not what they're, that I believe was shot down, wasn't it? As of right now.
They haven't been approved yet.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, what I was saying, where I'm going with this is, we currently give them 11 cents.
Mm-hmm.
And we, as a town, I think it might be time for us to think about possibly increasing the taxes so that we can one day down the road look to we either need to decide if we're going to stay small or if we're going to expand. If we're going to expand, then we need to try to see about getting some type of service that would allow people to come into the city. If we're going to plan to be small, which, I mean, that's, I guess, what we've done since 1996. But we just need to think about it, I think, at least think about it.
Well, I think this time, with the economy the way it is, the interest rates going up, the grocery bills going up, that, everybody's pinching pennies. There's a lot of people are pinching pennies to where we don't need to be a burden, any more of a burden. If we can get by until this economy turns around, I think we should try. And then if we're gonna offer services, then we need to know the figures, know how much it's gonna cost, how much, we just need numbers. We just can't raise taxes, say, all right, well, we got this money, now we can do it. We need to give the citizens a reason why.
Well, I mean, like, for instance, I would like to see us get a first-class website. And it could also provide things like, that might help be permit issues and possibly minutes that are, routed. And when she gets FOIA requests, it would help her with the FOIA request. Stuff's already there, and she can basically press a button and generate some of this stuff. And it costs about, the basic package is about $3,000 a year. But those are things that are on the horizon. Like I said, if we want to remain just what we are, then we can chug along at 5.5 cents. But if we're going to give a fire department 11 cents of our money, we should at least invest that money, that amount in our town. That's my point.
Anybody else have any comments?
If it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. And you hit it on the head, I think. Whenever, way back in 1996, when we incorporated to be small. And that's, unless something changes, I think that I think we're chugging along pretty good. And just to increase taxes for the sake of increasing taxes doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And, as far as getting services, I don't know exactly what if we're gonna do a town has a fire department, there's no way in the world we can get better service than what we got right now.
I'm not talking about getting a fire department. The only thing that would allow,
You're talking about paying the fire department 11 cents, and we're gonna put money aside for services, and that's what I'm asking is what kind of the services you're talking about, the services for the for me, for the website, stuff like that.
Is that not
But
what we
I
and
think-
also for police service, so that we can get people to come in.
We got better police service than what we had before. I mean, it isn't perfect and it never will be. I think it's kind of bad to compare us with the fire department though. Our fire and EMS department is one of the best in the county, if not the
It is
best.
the best.
And they, when you need them, they deserve every penny they get paid. The reason they are looking to go up is because of the cost of the equipment. When I first started working with that fire department, the ambulance was $135,000. That ambulance right now, same ambulance, is over $400,000, and it takes 2.5 to 4 years to get it. So I mean, and then as this board needs to think, if y'all raise taxes to that level, we have over 1,100 acres of farm in this town. And I went on the website and I went over it. This is exact, there's a little over 1,100 acres that will be lost because farmers will not be able to afford to live off of the land like they've had all their lives. And this is all this is going to do is cause them to sell their property to developers, and if y'all don't want growth, y'all don't like the growth in the traffic now, raise the taxes, because that's what's going to happen.
Well, they're gonna sell out sooner or later.
Well, I don't know. You got a lot of families that that will, but not all of them. But that's something to consider. We still got a lot of land that's underdeveloped, and raising taxes will be just like the folks over in Salter Path when they made that a town, and they raised the taxes to where a lot of them folks had to leave. So I don't want people to leave here just because the tax rate.
And for us, this little town, I guess, for us to talking about a police department, what's the budget? Does anybody know roughly what the budget for Cape Carter's fire department is?
I think it was 900,000.
And they got what, 4 full-time people?
You mean the police department, right?
Yeah.
I think it was on up
6 full-time.
6 full-time.
6 full-time?
Isn't it right around 900,000?
You're right, it's close to $1 million.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about the police department, you got background in law enforcement, I got background in law enforcement, and it's gonna take a lot of money to get we couldn't, if we raised the taxes 10 cents, we still couldn't get this, a service on the police department that would be a police department. We couldn't fund the police department on that kind of money.
Now,
Even 10 cents.
Right, well-
even if we did like Cedar Point, it's got a deputy there. I think we were given a price of $70,000. We would have to raise our taxes 8 cents just to cover that $70,000. But the problem is, and no one ever seems to bring this up, that deputy could be here and have a mutual aid call and could be gone anywhere from an hour to all day long on our dime.
That's right.
And there's nothing we can do about it.
All true.
So, you know, you just gotta take everything in consideration, what you're doing with these taxpayers' dollars. Our citizens expect the best out of us.
Well, his budget, I think he got 2 extra deputies for the West. I mean, they're trying to get, or has got, am I correct?
He's got 2 extra deputies, yes, sir.
Got them last year.
Yeah. Well,
It took him a while to get them here because it took a while to find people who want to be cops anymore,
that's right.
you know?
True that, yeah.
But it's vastly improved back in the old days, back when I was in law enforcement, when we had.
Horses?
Horses. Black powdered pistols.
We had mules and black powder pistols. We would have, supposed to have had six road deputies on duty in Carter County at one time, and it never was worked that way. And then we had 3 in the east, 3 in the west. And most of the time, 80% of the time, there was 2 in the west, and a lot of times there was 1. But they always had 3 working down east, because that's where the political power was. But anyway, that's not the story.
Well, I'm just saying that,
But I'm telling, the level of service we're getting right now from Asa, and he's working, he knows what's going on in western part of the county. And he's really working with us, and we've got, and I tell you what, I've seen, I've been traveling, I've ridden around quite a bit, and I've seen deputies, a lot of times up here. I seen a park warrant sitting up here doing the paperwork.
well, the presence has definitely changed. I'll give you that, and I'm very supportive of that. I wrote a letter to the commissioners to support the 2 deputies that they got last year. But the thing I'm getting at is, I think we could do it for 5 cents, because we would also increase our sales tax, double our sales tax, if we went up 5 cents. So we could pay for a deputy, and then, here's the thing, I'm only asking for 5 cents. Here's the thing, then we could get, some of these other communities like Silver Creek, and some of these other communities, and that would increase our tax base, and we wouldn't have to go up no more. But that's just my opinion. But I would like to see I would like to see the town get a first-rate website, and I would ask the board to at least consider that. It costs about $3,000 a year.
Is that not what we're paying East Carolina for?
No.
No.
That's good, yeah. All right, anybody else?
It's something for us to mull over and think about and think about and work to. But I think we need to. But
Well, I think right now our biggest thing is making sure we get this plan and
Yeah.
taken care of.
planning is my peeve right now. If we get a planner, and at least we start and work with that, and we can go with our own different things.
Well, it potentially enhance that too, because this website that I'm talking about, they do the permitting online. So it might help the planner too. I mean, I can get you a presentation if you'd like to see it.
All right. Anything else? Any changes or thing to the budget? If not, and if y'all are in agreement with it, do I hear a motion to send it to a public hearing?
I'll make a
Next
motion
month.
to send it to public hearing.
Second.
I have a motion and a second, send it to public hearing June 5th.
Oh, no.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All in favor say aye. I was, all opposed? Okay, public hearing next month. I was started thinking on something else, so got lost.
Trying to think.
Yeah, I shouldn't think at all. Okay, public comments? Tom?
Well, I have some really good news to share. First, I don't want to be negative, but I want to talk about a couple things real quick. With all due respect, Attorney Brett, regarding the waste yard site, I've been thinking about this, and I know you're still working on it, but that you said we needed a full staff. But I thought about my conversations with DEQ, and I just feel like, based on what they said to me, that using Chris and, you know, as an enforcement person, and I know Walter lives right across the street from the yard waste site, I feel like, I don't personally feel like we need a full staff, but that's my opinion. I just wanted to say that. I think we can do it based, because DEQ said that was perfect, what was in the ordinance. So I just wanted to pass that on, and because I feel pretty strong about it, because I feel like we do need to move forward with it, because it's kind of concerning me over there. And even if the ordinance has to be modified, but yeah, so I just wanted to say that. So thank you. But I also wanted to say, I didn't know you were in charge of the lights. That's good to know. You know the light at the church? Now, I think those branches need to be cut down, and then we'll have more there. The state, I guess the people that replace the light bulbs, they'll cut them down when they come by. And I don't know if you call, I can call, but if you are in contact and you want to do that, it'd be nice to have them cut those branches down, because I know they do it, and then we'll have more visibility there.
May I say one thing?
Sure.
Get the pole number.
Okay, I'll do that.
When you call, if you got an outage also,
Okay.
get the actual pole number
Okay.
and call it in.
Okay.
Or give it to B and let B call it in.
Okay, I'll pass it on. Okay, great. Also, Sonny, just so you know, you talked about Pelletier Loop and West Fire Tower, my favorite roads. You can also call the Highway Patrol, that's state roads.
Okay.
And they will come out there. They are short personnel, but they will.
There is an officer that lives down in Pelletier Shores.
He's trying to get transferred over here, and
yeah.
eventually if he does, he's promised to help even more.
Yeah,
He's
he
an
comes in the back
officer.
way all the time, because I see
Yeah.
him, yeah.
So I actually have some really exciting news, and I have a couple people to thank. I applied for this bicycle helmet initiative, and I won the award. I'm receiving an award, and that means I will be getting helmets. And they're from the state, and it's to give out to kids in need. And my priority first is Pelletier. So if anyone knows any kids in need, I haven't got them yet, but they'll be coming any day. Just let me know. I will be doing bicycle safety classes, and with that, kids that need helmets, I'll be fitting them. They will get a free helmet. I want to be sensitive about this and not when I say kids in need, but please reach out to me if you know any kids. And I'll be working on those logistics later. Chief Hunter has been extremely helpful with this. He's actually going to be receiving the shipment because they can't come to a residence. So logistically, he's going to be a tremendous help. And yeah, I'll be hearing about that soon, I'm sure. And also Mayor Sowers agreed to help me with this, and on a lot of it, in order to get this award, I needed support. And I had the support of Mayor Sowers and Chief Hunter. And without that, I would not have, I probably wouldn't have gotten this. So I really appreciate it. And hopefully the town will help me out with this when I decide when I'm gonna do the events. So, okay, that's it, thanks.
Okay. Anybody else?
How about, I never talked about this, distribute them and give them out. How are you gonna do that? You're gonna?
Oh, you would ask the hard questions. We're gonna have events here. I wanna have it here. Even if for other towns, if they wanna bring kids here, because, Chris has offered to help me, and I have the highway patrolman that you talked about I'm seeking help from police.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Right.
and so I wanna do, so I'm using this area. I think this is a good place.
Okay, Sherman?
I've got three things, so I'll be really quick. So, I think one of the residents, I think brought up signage, Pelletier signage.
Yeah.
I think that should be put on as old business until it's no longer old business. If we can come up with how much it's gonna cost, what's the benefit, where we can put it, and then when we have funding available, and we can just rack and stack what that is. Which comes into the second question, what is the goals and mission of this town? Of those 1,100 acres that, the future? I think that might help with our signage and how we want to represent this town. I mean, do we want to stay small? Do we want to grow? Somewhere in between? I think that's good to, public acknowledge it. I don't have an answer for that, but consider that. I think the discussion on raising taxes without having a cost-benefit analysis of what it is just saying raising taxes is gonna, is a dead end. You gotta say, if we want a deputy, this is how much it's gonna cost, and then you at least have something that you can revisit 2 or 3 years when things change. That's all. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Jim, in wanting the town to grow, they have to come and ask to be voluntarily annexed into the town. We can no longer just say, okay, we're gonna take a quarter of a mile and we're gonna take a half a mile.
I'm aware of that.
And I do not think you're gonna get very many of these developments to agree to their whole group to saying, okay, fine, we wanna be with Pelletier. Because that's the thing most people don't understand, is they have to ask to be part of our town now. And this came out, I think, with a legislature from Kinston having a big brouhaha for years. Used to, you could say, okay, fine, you've got 1,000 people, you can go a quarter of a mile all the way around. Not anymore.
I mean, I had the Silver Creek president of the HOA said that if we could give him police, then they might consider getting annexed.
God bless them.
And he told that to Dale a couple of years ago too.
Okay, so how much money do they bring to the table? How much is it gonna cost?
Yeah.
Those are all,
You gotta tell them.
folks to make a decision on.
40 cents tax, they're gonna say, oh, we need to think about that.
Yeah, and, you gotta, I believe it was 100% of the people gotta agree to it. So how's that gonna happen? So, as far as the signs, we've been working on that. Matter of fact, we just got the numbers today, to look in on costs on, the signs. Also, we're working on, the lights, the Christmas lights. We're working on the costs of those as well, like Cedar Point and Bogue and Cape Coral has. So, but the signs are something that we are definitely looking into, to getting the costs and bringing it before everybody. So,
I think Bogue does their Christmas lights, I think, are, people actually donated them, I think, the ones in Scotland, where they're like.
who Bogue?
Yes.
Yeah.
No Christmas tree anymore.
Yeah. Anybody else public comments? All right, we'll move on. We have old business. Jonathan Rison's rezone. This is 187, 191, 199 Bucks Corner Road, Pelletier. Rezone from B1 to MC. Replace mobile homes with park malls. So anyhow, he has, we tabled this because we wanted him to clean up the place, which, that one double wide, no, it's all cleaned up.
It is.
Yeah,
We still got some mess there though, but he cleaned up the big double one.
yeah. But I think he's trying to fence off the rest of the mess up.
half of it.
You put a fence up to cover up what the other mess is back there, but you can't see it anymore.
So anyhow, he called and I went ahead and put this back onto the agenda for y'all to discuss. So You know, and he also has the other rezone, but we'll handle one at a time. So, any, let's see, we had a public hearing on this. Do we have to have another public hearing?
Yeah, I would think so. If you didn't continue it to a date certain, I think what we should do is that if the board wants to consider this, is go ahead and re-advertise and send out the notices to make sure that the public's aware of what's going on.
Okay,
If the board wants to move forward with it.
gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
Has he put forth any drawings or site plans or anything that he intends on doing there when he takes the mobile homes off?
Not wrong, but it's kind of hard for him to put site plans together because he didn't want to spend the money to have that done and then it not be approved. He's not a wealthy person. He is a pastor and he doesn't make a whole lot of money, so. I thought he was gonna be here tonight.
It's kind of a catch-22, because I kind of like to know what he's gonna do with it before, you know, I know that he could do something himself. I mean, he ain't gotta have he have a plot plan. I think he could probably do something to tell us not to do, but.
Which I think we mentioned to him, I think the board mentioned to him before about doing that.
I mean, he could come in and say, I wanna have, he didn't tell, how many he's gonna have or anything, we don't, you know. So. But we could have a public hearing on it and then discuss it all at the public hearing. If you don't do that, that's something, whatever you want to do.
Well, if he has the drawings or has something,
Well, just a general idea of what he's gonna do there. I mean,
yeah.
I know the zoning's one thing, but he's limited by the county of what he can do there too.
Yeah.
I make a motion, we put it off for 30 days and get him here to tell us
With a draw. Okay.
With the draw.
I'll
Second.
it.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, the next is rezoning of 175, 169 Bucks Corner Road. Rezone from R15M to MC. Park Model Community. This is the same person, same, their lands together. But one was B1 and one was R15M. So that's why there's two rezones he had paid for. So,
Since he hasn't given us any more information, I'll go back to the original, same thing that we did on the other.
yeah, just make the motion again.
I'll make a motion, we put this off for another, table it for another month,
Second it.
I have a
until he brings.
motion to table for 30 days, and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Other businesses, none at this time. Commissioners' comments, Mr. Quinn,
I don't have anything.
Dave? It ain't hard to follow that one up.
You'd be surprised. With a heavy heart, you know, a lot of things have changed over the years, both business, family, this town. This will be my last term. I will not run for any re-election, so just to put that out there, if anyone wants to head to Beaufort and put your name on that $5 piece of paper, have at it. But this will be it for me, and I want to thank everybody. But I wanted to say it early beforehand so people had time to come in and get ready and be prepared. I think you know, just like the planning board and things like that, this town needs someone a hell of a lot smarter than I am, someone with a whole lot more time than I have to give, and I just feel I'm kind of selling y'all short. So time for me to, you know, step down and let things happen.
Well, we do appreciate all that you have done, Dave.
Sure do.
Yes.
I appreciate
Really
it.
have. You'll be missed. All right, son.
Good.
Hard to follow that, eh?
Hard to follow that. Yeah. I don't have anything for that one.
Dan?
David, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you,
It's
David.
been a pleasure.
Thank you, David.
Well, I ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna come sit on that side and that'll be a lot more fun.
Been a real asset now, and I appreciate it. Another thing I got to say, I think most everybody here knows what happened on the 19th, that night, on the last Wednesday night was a week ago, with my daughter and her, whatever he was, when he burned her house, and he was in it, and destroyed her home. And she, and I just think, I've already talked to your boss. And the sheriff's department and the fire and rescue, the EMS people, they just did an outstanding job up there. And I don't know, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say about that. They made we learn from things, and I think my daughter has learned a lot, and she has. But you also learn from tragedy comes assets or hope, and she's found out how much love people really have for her, and that's the positive side of it. Another positive side is he's in jail, and I hope he stays there forever. But she's just, there's been just an outpouring of love and concern from everybody. From just, I don't know of anybody that hadn't. She's just finding out how much people really care. So that's a positive side. And not preaching, but there is a scripture that says, all things work together for good to those who love the Lord, that He called according to His purpose. That's Romans 8:28. But that is true, so true. And she has. I just want to again appreciate so much what y'all did with law enforcement out there that night. Just thank you.
Okay. All right, next is closed session.
Mr. Mayor, before we go in, can I, just for the public's benefit, just
Yeah.
speak about the closed session? So the North Carolina statutes allow us to go to closed session for certain things, and one of it's attorney-client privilege, and that's what this would be going into tonight. After we go into closed session, of course, because of just the confines of the room, we don't have other places to go. Unfortunately, we ask the public to leave, but when we get done with the closed session, we'll come back into open session. And if any business were to be conducted, we would do it in an open session. We typically put these on at the end because we don't come back and do open session and have things done without the public being here. So that's more of a consideration for the public, in that we don't kick you out of the middle of the meeting and then you guys have to wait 15, 20, 30 minutes to come back in. So I don't want anybody to think that there's anything being done in closed session that's not allowed in closed session. And if any board actions required, it would have to be an open session. But I don't anticipate that ever happening unless we would go into it and first tell the public, hey, look, you know, we may have some action to be taken afterwards. So I just wanted to clarify that for just the board's understanding as well as the public's understanding, that if you want to stick around and wait, like last month, I go out there and I look to see if everybody's in the parking lot waiting. You can come back in and you can hear the motion to adjourn, but that is a process that you have to go through. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to go into closed session for attorney-client discussions?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
All right.
Any opposed? All right, we're gonna go into closed session.